You're listening to The Kelly Slusher Show with your host, Kelly Slusher. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me for another one of my episodes. I'll do my best. It's been a good week. Crazy time. It's summer. Summer gets busy with my work stuff. And speaking of, I wish I could talk more about like this place that I work. Like it's part-time, weekends, but there's so many good things that happen in this place that I work. Like just people say things or do things, and it's just like genius stuff. And I'm like, man, I can't talk about that. But I will say this. So I'm a baker, pastry baker, and this customer, someone overheard a customer bought a scone and is standing there eating takes a bite into the scone. He's like, "This scone is dry." And the sky is blue. And the water is wet. And the leaves are green. Yeah, that's a scone. The scone is dry. No. They're meant to be dry. Have you ever had a scone before? Although I think they might be making more creamier style scones. I think I've seen that. But scones are intended to be dry. So you can dip them in your coffee, I guess. I do not like scones. I have never liked a scone. But I bake them. I bake them. Anyway. So, I wanted to put this on my video cast. I was going to do my video cast. I don't care about video cast. My video podcast. However, I'm kind of reformatting it a little bit, rethinking it a little bit, thinking about making it more of like a stream. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I realized at the last video I made, I was like talking, and I'm like, this is way too personal. It got a little too personal. Just like, I don't know. I'm kind of more private person, and like I have a green screen. I need to set up the green screen. I'm going to go a little bit more elaborate. It's going to be different than this, and then maybe my video thing, I'll have more guests, and it'll be more like I don't know. I got to figure it out. But I don't, because you think about it, like YouTube goes to the world, right? So how many people in the world? Not that they're all going to look at my video, but any random person could like. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit more contained than that for me to feel comfortable. Just like, hey, because I was like, I don't know. But anyway, today is going to be my collection of jokes, my silly things that I around that I've been taking notes of. Okay, so it's been 4th of July. I was thinking about that. I think I talked about this, but this was like a year, a couple years ago on this podcast when I was staying with my mom in Arizona, and she lives in Mesa. So the thing is, you could go into a grocery store. You could be like, it's like where we would go. I don't know. They didn't have good grocery stores. So it'd be like a Walmart. It'd be like something like that. Or like some kind of big Bashes. It's like one of their stores. But you go in and there would be like firework displays like in the middle of the aisles. So like one area, there'd be like boxes of chocolate, here's your chips. And then they're like right next to it, here's your TNT. And it'd be like a big display. And I was like picking up, I'm like, I can't believe you can buy these things. There you can buy it. Here in California, you can't buy that, thankfully. Maybe in some places. But that's crazy. And then there was this firework factory in the Sacramento, it was like Yolo County, where 7 people ended up missing, but we know what that means, from an explosion that happened in a firework factory. And the craziest thing I was reading about, one of the guys, it was his first day. Like, oh my goodness, your first day. Oh yeah, you get this job at this firework factory and that's your last day. your first day is your last day. And then someone pointed out, well, maybe he did something, not to blame him, but what if like he had done something like, hey, no, don't smoke. No, Bill, no. And I'm not making fun of, because that's sad. I'm sorry to make fun of anyone that perished in that. But the idea of, it's not a joke, but the idea of it was like, oh yeah, maybe that's what happened, who knows? Or just the fact that like, boy, you shouldn't have answered that ad. Boy, you shouldn't have had that interview. I was thinking about anger management. There's some people I know, not that are like, I'd like to say coworkers. There's, I've seen some, when people get out of control, angry and like temper, and then they can't stop themselves. And they say, oh, you should go to anger management. But shouldn't you just like not be angry? Shouldn't you work on the anger? But instead of like, I have all this anger, I'm going to go manage it. So I think that's kind of interesting. Like, why don't you work on the problem rather than like the managing of the problem? Yeah, I'm going to go manage my anger. I'm angry, but it's, I'm managing it. I've hired managers to help me. So, I'm still angry, but I manage it. So that's kind of a strange, probably not I don't know. Depending on why you're angry, like I understand why people are angry. There's a lot of anger, and anger can also be turned into unexpressed anger can also be depression. I've heard those things are kind of like 2 and 2. Like if you're depressed or if you're angry, maybe you're depressed. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go down that tangent. So at work the other day, okay, this is what happens. So I work in the back, and I bring my beautiful, lovely, and I'm very proud of them. And I just made this. And so like, I'll bring it up and there's like always a line of customers like, hee, and I'm like putting it in the case. Somebody always seems to stop me to be like, excuse me. And there's like other workers. I don't know what, someone's like, you have a friendly face. Maybe you look like someone they can talk to. Some lady's like, excuse me, because we make these buckwheat muffins. And she goes, is buckwheat like bran? And I was like, They're 2 different things. Bran's made from wheat. Buckwheat is its whole other thing. And buckwheat's kind of a trippy thing. Like I can't even go down that to explain that to you right now, lady. And then she goes, no, I mean like the medicinal qualities of bran. So what I wanted to say, like, oh, you mean, will buckwheat make you poop your pants? Will you be running to the bathroom if you eat buckwheat? And I was like, I don't know. I can't answer that question. That's like, stuff like that is so ridiculous to me. Like, hello, we're not doctors. I'm not a nutritionalist to be like, well, actually, let me give you and no, yeah, I can, yeah. It was just funny. So I'm like, no. You always see these things on, like on YouTube, and it knows obviously I'm looking at baking stuff, and that pop up like 2-minute cakes. Only 2 minutes. You can have a cake in only 2 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay, let's say 5 minutes. You can have a cake in 5 minutes. No, you can't. 5-minute cakes doesn't exist. Okay, that would involve a microwave, which would also not be good. Maybe. I don't do microwaves, so I don't know. But like the other thing that's funny, the clickbait will be like 2-ingredient cake. And in the past, I've clicked on that before. I really I wouldn't do that now because it's impossible. But the thing is, that's funny. It's impossible. You can't have a 2-ingredient cake. Wouldn't work. And the thing that's funny about it is like, it's not 2 ingredients. They'll like tell you like, okay, all you need is eggs. Oh, and then you need some sugar. And then you're going to add flour. And then they go through this whole elaborate thing where it's not that. Who does that fool? I guess it fools somebody who doesn't know. Like, I think, okay, this is not an original joke, but I had seen this somewhere. I don't know who had said this, but recently it was like an Instagram reel or something where the guy was like talking about this. Oh, I know who it was. Yeah, it was like this guy, I forget his name, on YouTube, he's funny. He's like, anyway, he jokes. It's a joke. He's a jokester. But he was talking about those type of videos, and he was talking about what was it? 2-minute cakes, 5-minute cakes. Oh, he was like, why would someone want a cake in 5 minutes? Like, what if you want something in 5 minutes, why don't you just like don't even make it, like, why are you even making it? Like, why are you doing this? Why don't you just like, you obviously don't enjoy baking, so why don't you like just buy it? Just buy it. It's so dumb. You know what that's for? It's for the people who are like, they've just smoked a bunch of weed, or they're not smoking weed and they're just sitting on their couch, they're watching, they want a snack, and they're like, do we have anything in the cupboards? I don't think we do. Hey, let's look it up. Hey, look, we can have a cake in 5 minutes. Let's do it. Impossible. Can't do it. Okay, switching. I got a lot to say. Okay, this is gonna be short podcast. This is gonna be a busy week. Busy. There was this mock turtlenecks. I think I might actually title this podcast Mock Turtlenecks. I remember in high school, my friend went on a date. She was talking about this date that she went on some double date with these two guys. And this was back, I'm not going to say when, but they had like, they both had these like, this is so, like, they had like some button down white shirts or something, but they put their mock turtlenecks underneath them so you could see them like a mock turtleneck. If you don't know what that is, which a lot of people don't, it's just the turtleneck, and then it's like fabric material that goes down maybe like to your chest or whatever. So it's just looks like it's a turtleneck underneath your shirt, which to me, I despise turtlenecks. Like Mitch Hedberg has a good joke about it. It's like some like little guy hanging off your back, like choking you. I don't remember what it was, but it was something like that. And I'm like, I hate turtlenecks. You'll never see me in one. But so like the idea that people used to put them on. But anyway, the girl went out there was like a double date, and these guys were super dweeby. They were dweebs, and they had their like mock turtlenecks, trying to look all like, whatever. It kind of reminds me of the Night of the Roxbury type of guys, Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Okay, so this is what I was going to say earlier. Okay, I was going to do some of my video cast, but I won't. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I will, but I'll talk about it. So the other day, I found a perfectly round egg. Like, it was perfectly round. And I was at work. I was doing these 9-minute eggs, and I didn't realize it. And I had pulled it out, and I was taking them, and I was drying them off and cracking. No, not this one. I was drying them off to put them out. And I was like, this is a perfectly round egg. This is a perfectly round egg. Like, it's perfect. So then I was like showing some coworkers, I'm like, look, perfectly round egg. And they're like, well, some people were like, wow. And some people were like, But anyway, so that day I had to like leave pretty quickly. I threw it in my backpack because I wanted to keep it. And then I like forgot it was there. And then I like set my bag down or something, and then it cracked it. So it was hard boiled, thankfully. I don't think I would have put just willy-nilly through a raw egg in my bag. But so I stuck it in my freezer because it's rare. So I just want to have it. And I looked it up, and it was like 1 in a billion, like to find a round egg. And I know that the place I work, we get our eggs from a local farmer, and he probably doesn't have those sorting machines where like the reason why they're not rare that they actually make round eggs, but those are always sorted out. Like if they were to, and the reason why an egg is the shape that it's in is so it doesn't roll away. Like, isn't that crazy? Like the whole reason, I don't know, chickens lay these eggs that are warbly, whatever, so they don't roll. It's not nuts. That's why eggs are shaped the way they are. But this, the internet search said it was like 1 in a billion. I don't know. So maybe. But then I looked it up, and I was like, what, and then they were talking about the value of it, and that there are people that bring their round eggs to auction. And I was like, whoa, what is this? I cracked my egg. Okay, mine isn't worth anything, but what would people pay for it? And it was like maybe $500. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to go. I wouldn't have done that anyway. Chasing $500 for my little one. But if it was like thousands, hey, I got this round egg. Isn't that crazy? But I felt like everything was going to be okay in my life. Like, I win. This feels so lucky, so blessed to have this round egg. It's in my freezer. Have you noticed that the word garbage is so close to the word garage? I'm a baby lady. I'm a baby lady. These are little notes that I write. I'm a baby lady. I do. I feel like I'm a lady, but I'm a baby. But I'm a baby and I'm a lady. Ambulance. Ambience. Ambience. Ambulance. That is an ambient. That is an ambient ambulance. It was kind of sad. Like, someone I know, a little boy, had to be taken to the an ambulance because he has seizures, and but it was like, so the ambulance had to take him, and then when he was back, and it was a few days later, like, what did it sound like when you were in the ambulance? He was like, woo 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 woo, and it was like so cute and sad at the same time. It was like, woo 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 woo. I'm just reading off my notes. Okay. The other day, someone told me that their landscaper told them that red cedar, oh yeah, they're just a bunch of weeds. Excuse me? Red cedar? They're just a bunch of weeds. No, they're not. Ponderosas, I would find them, if you're going to say something's a weed, like some kind of evergreen, but a red cedar, they're beautiful. Are you kidding? Have you looked at the bark? They're just weeds. Wow. I've never heard that. Ever in the sacredness of red cedar, like if you know anything about red cedar, it's a very sacred tree. For someone to call it a weed, that's crazy. That's insane. What about the name Weiner? Like, if your last name is Weiner, Wiener, everyone would say Wiener. You'd be like, it's not Wiener, it's Weiner. My name is Weiner. It's Mr. Weiner. But it looks like Wiener. That'd be hard. I wouldn't want that. That'd be hard. And then it's a family name, so you probably wouldn't want to get rid of it. Leon's Auto Tire and Hair. Leon's Auto Tire and Hair. For all your auto needs, new and used tires, and the latest hairstyles and perms. Haircuts starting at only $9.98. We're having a sale on Moto Full Synthetic 5-gallon motor oil for just $35.43. Peaky Long Life Premix Antifreeze and Coolant for $6.93. And Beauty Dew Curl Enhancer Shampoo and Conditioner 2-pack for only $7.18. Tire installation and haircut starting at only $14.95. Come on down to Leon's for all your auto, tire, and hair needs. And only in the month of February, we're offering a free hair blowout when you purchase a set of anti-blowout tires and rims. So come on down to Leon's Auto Tire and Hair, where you will not regret your visit. Lean on Leon's Auto Tire and Hair. Cardboard. I love cardboard. Cardboard. I like to say the word cardboard. Cardboard. I made my whole entire smelly set out of cardboard, the smelly show, and it was so much fun. And then I made, I was really bored and pretty lonely one time in Portland. It was like this weird time in my life. And I remember so I decided, I was living in St. John's, Portland, which is like this really old, I think it's like the oldest neighborhood of Portland. And I decided to miniaturize the entire downtown out of cardboard. So I made a miniature set of all the buildings. That was so much fun. I didn't really do anything with it. I put it on display in like the town center. Like, it's a bookstore in the middle, and then it was cute. And people were like, oh, did kids make this? I was like, no, I'm an adult. No, but it looks like kids. I mean, it has that kid style. All my stuff is kid style. It's because I'm kind of a childish. What if you made wanted posters for yourself and you posted them around? Not like as a joke, but like And then you're like, hey, we've got this person you guys need to look out for. And then like you go to the post office, like, thanks for putting these up. And then you put it up, they're like, wait, that's you. And you're like, that's right. And then you run. Now, my friend, she pointed out that now when you walk into a place, a store, in any place, people go, welcome in. Where did that come from? And then she pointed that out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's true. It used to be welcome, or hey guys, hello. I don't know what else people would say, but it would be like welcome. But now it's welcome in. And I went to a show a couple weeks ago, and the guy at the door was like, welcome in. And I said, isn't it interesting how this is one of those things, I've talked about this, like when I need to not say it, like it's in my head, and this is why I don't say itself. Don't, because they're not in your head. It's not relatable, but just say it anyway. So I said it anyway. And I said, isn't it interesting? Like you just said welcome in. I'm like, people just say welcome, and then and he's like looks at me like what? And I was like, oh, I'm not making fun of you. I was just wondering why am I telling you this? And I'm like, I don't know why I just said that to you. I'm like, dang it. Why do I do these things? But I'm wondering what this is. Was this a California thing? Is it like something that, people just started saying? Because this, I find that fascinating. I find the words we pick up fascinating. And I do believe it is beyond just speech. I do believe we have a collective thing going on. Absolutely have a collective thing going on where we're all, I don't know what realm this is in, but we all have a collective thing. Because you'll notice this, like people who have never met each other could be saying the same thing. Now, the day of internet, now that we have like our phones and all this stuff, it's easy to learn things super quick and pick up on things. But when I was a kid, you can talk to other kids who are from other parts of the country who are, around people around the same age. And you can you can have the same jokes. And how in the world did me, like in Boonville, I was born in Boonville, Arkansas, this tiny town in Arkansas, have the same jokes as someone who was born in California, who we didn't have the things, and they weren't things that you saw on TV. They were like just kind of kid jokes or kid sayings. The same thing, like there's something going on there, it's like this collective mind. I don't know. Very interesting. So I think this is the welcome in part of that. And once you realize it, it's like, oh my gosh, and you hear it. And then every time you hear it, you hear something. Now I pointed that out. You'll hear it and be like, yeah, what's up with that? And it's funny because people say it so confidently too, like, welcome in. You're saying that because you heard someone else say that. But I'm looking at you like, why are you saying welcome in? And I'm not trying to be unfriendly to you at this time. Thank you, but why are you saying welcome in? So there's so many things, like I mentioned earlier in my podcast beginning, I want to talk about, like, I can't talk too much about this weekend job that I have, because there's so many, it's like gold, there's just pure gold that just happens all the time because you have a lot of people doing things. And then I will say the one thing that other people have pointed out is most people there, we're all a little special. That's probably why you end up in these jobs. So they're kind of like more like my people in that way. So let me just say this. So I am, I've talked about baking and how much I love it. And there's this thing that I do. I'm going to consider myself, there's something about buttercream. I'm like this buttercream master in some way. I can't explain it, but it's not a hard thing to do, but it's almost like I'm the buttercream whisperer. So I had a coworker hand me this recipe. And most buttercream, if this might be boring to you guys, but most buttercream is like this American buttercream, and that's what most people use. Well, if you're like, any kind of baker who knows, about other buttercreams, and you have any kind of, anyway, American buttercream is looked down upon, which I think American buttercream is amazing. And the way I make it, it's just like, so anyway, so I have this, so most people make like Swiss meringue buttercream or Italian meringue buttercream or French meringue buttercream, but it's always like, for most bakers, like if you're a serious baker, like pastry baker, like those are superior. To me, they're cool, but they're not superior. Anyway, so I had this over the weekend. I had this coworker who has doubted my skills sometimes, and I've always proven her wrong. She's been working there a long time, but I kind of feel like I've been baking. Like it's a natural thing for me. So anyway, so she handed me this recipe because she couldn't do it. She wanted to do it, but she had no time to do it. So it was the Italian meringue buttercream replacing the sugar with honey. I immediately knew what to do. I looked at the recipe. I was like, oh, okay. And it's tricky. It's very tricky because it's involving like whipping egg whites and then adding something hot to the egg whites. And you can definitely mess it up. But I am the buttercream whisperer. So I did my thing. I kind of altered it a little bit, saying, you know what, that part of the recipe, that's going to ruin it. So I'm not going to do that. So I just kind of like, I did this thing. So I put the thing in, and it's whipping, put the butter, and it always looks like crap. It always looks bad. And she's looking at it. She's like she's doubting me. I'm like, trust me, it's going to come out perfect. And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, you have to have faith in me, please. So I'm doing it. And finally it's like it takes like maybe 10, 15 minutes of just like seriously like whipping it, and it turned, and like finally it came together, and I was like, see? And she's like, that's amazing. I'm like, don't doubt me. I know how to do this. It was a honey Swiss meringue buttercream. No, honey Italian meringue buttercream. And the reason why a lot of people like those buttercreams is because they're glossy. They make this really glossy. But I don't think they're superior in taste. In my opinion, they're not superior in taste. So it's just funny. The dynamic of what you have to deal with. Okay, and then there's this I shouldn't even talk about this, but there's this dishwasher who's like really funny. He's like this kid, you know. And he's like, I say kid, he's probably like 20. But last week, the head baker was like, I can't find this bench scraper. There's these two very specific, very special bench scrapers. And so he's like he's joking, but he's acting like he's serious. Like, okay, I got to find that bench scraper. And it's like these jokes that he's like doing like the army crawl on the floor, looking under things for this bench scraper. And then he can't find it. And then like sometimes I'll look up at him. I'm like, you got to find that bench scraper, or you're out, dude, you're out. And he's like, I know, I got to find this. Okay, if you don't know what a bench scraper is, it's like one of those metal things that scrapes dough off of the table very nicely. And essential baking tool. And and then so he comes in early on Sunday, and I forget about this whole bench scraper because we were joking the Sunday before about it. Like every once in a while, I'm like, did you find that bench scraper? If you don't find it, it's your last day. He's like, I know, I'm so stressed, I can't find it anywhere. We're just joking. And then I forget about it, and then he comes in early, like half an hour early. I'm like, whoa, this guy, he's always late, and I'm like, whoa, 8:30, wow. And he's like, gotta find that bench scraper. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really funny. And so then the joke to me was like, he's like, I was just thinking about it all night. And he was like, I'm like, was it like this? You're laying in bed and your alarm goes off and you're like, bench scraper. He's like, yeah, I'm real stressed about this. I like the army crawl. He's like doing the army crawl on the floor, like on the whole restaurant, looking underneath everything for this bench scraper. And he's the same dishwasher. Like we have these mats, and the dishwashers like to pull the mats early, but they prevent you from slipping. And I will stand my ground when they I do one night shift there, and the dishwashers will be like, can I have the can I have your mat? And I was saying, no, I need my mat. Please, I'll be here for another half an hour. Do not take my mat. And they get it. And I'm like, I let them have it once when I slipped. And it's kind of hard on your legs they're really spongy and the floors are really concretey. So if you're standing on a place, it can be really hard. I don't want to be hard on my body. So he's the same guy who pulled all the mats early and he was walking with a pile of dishes and slips on the floor. He falls because he pulled the mats too early. It's just like, I don't know. It's like I work with, it's like characters. Like there's one after the other. And it's just like, I feel like I'm constantly laughing, minus the fact that there's a few people there that are not so nice. And so it's this dynamic of like, how do you stay, and it's a very small kitchen. So you have to work with people and you have to continuously be, like some people take their jobs very serious. I take my job serious. I'm probably one of the most serious people as far as the area I'm working in, because it's not it's such a passion. And I also have a lot of things I do outside of that. I'm doing it because I freaking love it, So to have that passion, and I get excited that I have to all these, and the funny part, I wish I could film myself the hour before I have to leave, because you can't work past 8 hours. You can, but they have to pay you time and a half, and they don't like that. But in the summertime, it gets really busy. Is the hustle, like the hour before, and I'm like incredibly amazed at how many things I get done in an hour, because I'm like literally running to okay, I got to depan this, then I got to frost this, and then I got to put these out, and then I got to put this out, and I got to put this out, and doing it precisely too, and making it still beautiful. So it's turned into more of a fun. Okay, I think that's the end of this podcast. This week has been it's a lot. There is a lot going on, but I always try to get this podcast out, and I did it. And I am stuffed up a lot because I have my bunnies. I have bunnies, and they're in my little house, and I'm having allergies to the hay. My lungs hurt, my eyes are watering. Yeah, I'm having a situation I got to figure out, because this is not working. And they're not very happy. And so I've been bringing them over to my friends to play with their bunny, and they're happy when they're out, but they want to be they want to walk around my house. They want to be out of their, they don't want to be in a play. They want to be walking freely around my house, and I don't want to live in a barn is what I'm trying to say. I'm not into the barn house thing. They need their own little house. They could actually have the whole size I live in this tiny house. They could actually have their whole, they could have this as their entire house, because it's so small. So this is quite interesting. It is unfolding quite interestingly. And, my lungs, this is not good. But it is what it is. I'm going to figure it out where we can all be happy. And anyway, so I'm going to let you guys go. And I'm so stoked that I did this podcast in such a short amount of time and for such a busy week. Okay. Bye, you guys.